a number of different, we'll jump into this here. So welcome to the next generation of Beach Watch photo documentation. Next slide. Back one, thank you.
Sorry.
Okay, so the evolution of beach watch photo capture. I don't think any of you know this, but back in 93, when Beach Watch started, everyone was using Kodachrome slides. So they were taking these slide photos, mailing the film cartridges. I'm trying to find the right words because it's been a while. The film cartridges in, and then the Beach Watch staff were sending those cartridges in to get slides made. And then Rich Stahlcup was sitting at a light table with a loop, looking at all of the slides for verification. So things have come a long way since then. In the early 2000s, Beach Watch started issuing digital cameras and then mailing their SD cards in after every single survey. And then the person in the office was downloading those images and uploading them to be connected to the data. So then a little while after I came along, we created, in 2012, we created a photo upload capacity that was added to the Beachwatch data entry system. And then around that same time, we started issuing the GPS cameras, which have had some issues over the years. And now we are really excited to launch beta testing on a photo app. Next slide. Okay, why change? I think you all probably have quite a few ideas about this, but our fleet of digital cameras is aging, and smartphones are making digital cameras obsolete. Camera technology on our personal devices, be it phones or tablets, now meets Beachwatch photo quality standards, and at this point, our devices have better photo quality than the cameras that are issued. And at this point, since we have so many partners that have been using this Esri tool, Survey 123, to capture images with GPS coordinates, et cetera, and be able to control things, we're now in a position to want to utilize this tool. Next slide. So with this tool, we'll be able to control the date, the time, the photo exposure, the GPS settings, so you don't ever have to worry about that. The photo quality as well. So no more SD cards uploading from your camera to the computer and then to the portal. And no need to share one camera amongst the team, since each person would have the ability to use a personal device or a assigned device. And so I'll mention here that we are planning to, we've already purchased some devices that can be issued in case for any number of reasons, but we're hoping to make purchases so that people don't have to use personal devices in the field, unless they want to. And then also the app can be used when there's no cell service, so that's just a rest assured. And so the images can be uploaded when you're back connected to internet, or if it's a personal phone, if you have cell service. Next slide. So we are looking, Drew, I think something's missing here. No, it's okay. That's fine. We are looking for your help as beta testers of this app. So what you'll need to participate, a personal smartphone or tablet, Android or iPhone are fine, to install Survey 123 app on your device. And then you'll need 2 QR codes, one to install the app and one that is uniquely yours to identify you. And then as a beta tester, you'll be practicing using it, and then doing some real-time surveys with it, and then providing feedback on both our information about how to use it and also about how to use it and any other thoughts. Next slide. So that is why you're here today. That's what was missing, Drew. It swung in at the last second. Okay, so I understand that possibly all of you have already gotten the app on your phone, but I'm going to go through this whole process. And so if you have any feedback, we will ask for feedback in various forms. So if you have feedback on this presentation, if you have feedback on the manual, etc., we will be looking for that. So where do I get the app? So on Apple devices, you can tap on the App Store icon on your iPhone or iPad. And also in the App Store, you can type Survey123 into the search bar. Then tap the download icon. On Android devices, you can download the app from the Google Play or the Microsoft Store for Windows. And I will chime in that while over the last couple years, one of our team had an Android device, we now all have Apple devices. So Android users, we will be excited for your feedback. And I think that. Okay, next slide. Love the sound effects. So what will it look on my phone? This is the app icon. It's a little green job with the check mark, Survey123. Next slide. And when you go to open that, this will be your landing page. Next slide. And now we're going to go through a couple steps. This first one is just for your first time setup. And so the first time you open the app, it may ask you a question about whether you would like to allow Survey123 to access your camera. And you should definitely select Allow. Next slide. And then signing in, this is what you'll be doing every time you open the survey. You're going to click on the bottom option, which is the tap. You're going to tap the Continue Without Signing In button. Next slide. And then another question should appear at this point, which will be asking if you would like to allow Survey123 to use your location. And you are going to click the bottom button, which is Allow while using the app. And at least one time, one of our staff did not have survey enabled, and the location was popping up in Africa, I believe. So it is important to have that on. If it's not on, we will probably be very aware because it will be popping up in a very off place. But this is very important, and if you ever have issues with that, we might be letting you know, but we can certainly help with that. Next slide. So adding our Beachwatch photo app into the Survey123 platform. So this QR code on the right will direct you to the place where you can download that. And what we suggest and what we will do when we roll this out to everyone is we'll suggest printing off both QR codes, this one that gets you to the app and your personal QR code, and just taping them to the back of your clipboard. So even though you won't need this one every time, I, for one, have a setting on that gets rid of apps if I don't use it on a regular basis. So say I was, missed a couple surveys, it might be gone. It might be helpful to add it. If you get a new device, it would be helpful to have this handy. So I suggest that you have this on your clipboard as well. And so you can hold your camera, your phone's camera over this, and it can then click on the link that pops up and just head on over to download the app. Next slide. So once you've started that process, you'll see this image pop up. You'll see the NOAA and the Greater Fair Lawns Association logos. And then you can go ahead and click on that to open it. Next slide. So once you're in, it's going to look like this. There's a little information about Beach Watch. This is not going to be a public. You're not going to be able to search the internet for this. You're only going to be able to get in through the QR code. So to start taking photos on a Beach Watch survey or to practice, you're going to go ahead and click the plus button to collect. So next step, you're going to see this orange barcode in the middle of the box. If you tap on that, a camera will appear. And this is when you're going to show your phone the QR code that's assigned to you. And it will then pop up and say, "Hi, Drew, let's get started." So if you happen to be in the field and you don't have your QR code handy, no problem. You can skip this step. You will need to do it by the time you are submitting your survey. Next slide. And then there are two different ways to navigate to select your beach. So you can tap on the caret on the right to scroll down and find your beach number from the drop-down menu. And then you're going to click the button, the radial button on the left, to select the beach that you want. And you can also type your beach number into the search box and then also hit the radial button on the left to select it.
That also takes the beach name and the search box.
And the beach name too. Okay, great. Next slide. So the date and time are just going to be automatically collected. You don't have to enter that, and you don't have to worry about camera clocks being not set in the right time. Next slide. Next section you're going to be taking photos in the field. So there are two kind of sections to taking photos. It's field photos and data form photos. So you don't need to take them all on the beach. You can take your field photos, save it all, come back, open it again and fill out your data sheet photos when you're ready at home, if that's what you want to do. So the field photos are going to be like your beach profile.
Can
your
you step back
specimen.
on that?
Mm-hmm.
So when you're ready to enter you take your photos, doing field photos, and then when you're entering your data, you use data forms?
Yeah, so you could take all the photos in the same sitting. That's fine, but we understand that often you're taking your field photos and then you're gonna get in the car and go home and maybe in the afternoon take your data sheet photos once you've completed those. So you don't have to do them all at the exact same time.
Yeah, you're going to take pictures of your data sheets so you currently do.
Okay.
You can just do that later.
That was a question Dave and I had earlier today.
Yep. Yeah, so you can do them at a different time, but you'll have to do them all before you submit the survey.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So your field photos are your beach profile photos, your specimens, stream openings, people doing things on the beach, other photos, tar balls. So also the app has information stored about each beach. So if your beach doesn't have any streams, the stream opening option will not show up as an option for field photos. But if you do have a stream, it will be there. Next slide.
Are you still seeing my slides?
Yes.
Yeah.
I lost them. What did I do?
We'll give you a second.
Give me a second.
Okay, we'll take a pause. Does anybody have any?
I wanted to say too that one way to think of this, because when it's all new, it's fresh, that this photo app is just for photos. It's not for all the other data sheets. So you're not doing your whole survey using the photo app. You're just taking your photos. It's supposed to make your life easier
Yeah.
doing the photos and the photo log using the photo app.
Yeah. They're,
see
they're,
my screen, guys?
we can still see your screen.
Okay.
And a comment about the stream photos. Sometimes beaches have more than one stream in the survey zone, and all of those water features will show up on the app. So I think Pescadero has several, or Pomponio has several beaches or several streams, and all of them will show up, and you just have to pick or tap the stream name that you're using.
Drew, are you with us?
Where am I? Yeah. Drew, where am I?
I had
What photo you have up? Section 1, field photos?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. You want me to, are you good there?
I think we can advance, except I heard another voice. Did someone have a question?
yeah, I had a quick question.
Yeah.
So when we talk about we could take field photos and then save it and then add more photos later, like our data sheets later, can you also add photos like from your photo library later? Or is this just to like take
No.
photos live?
Yeah, it's just taking photos live.
Okay. And then
If you have extra photos though, and you want to attach them to your survey, you'll be able to add photos just like you do now.
like
Man,
or you add them like as data sheets, or do you mean add them through the portal?
through the Beach Watch data entry.
I think it's best to just take all your survey photos with the app, and then if there's an odd case where something happens, just to be in touch with Kelly and work out
Yeah.
how to do that.
I think
Okay.
Amber does beauty shots and she includes those sometimes, so she might be taking them with her.
Understood. And
Baby
I'm
girl,
Yeah.
go away.
I'm guessing David would be in the
We'll
same
figure out a way
category.
for that for you.
And then-
Understood. Yeah, we always want the beauty shots, so we'll
I don't put that many beauty shots. I take way more, don't worry. I just don't include them to you guys. Okay, and then just a kind of related question. When we use the app to take photos like live, do those photos also get saved to our library?
So
Like-
they are not going to be saved to your typical photo library, but there is a folder associated with Survey 123 that is on your phone that we can easily show you how to get to it. So it will be there on your phone, but it will not show up in your usual place.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a separate folder that's kind of in the background.
Yep.
And you can clean it out, you can keep it. But that's kind of advanced photo app.
Yeah, we're keeping track of the things that you all are bringing up, but we also want to remind you that you're going to have a lot of opportunities to ask, to give feedback on things that would be improvements or things that aren't working. So know that, your thoughts today are great, but we're going to be constantly asking you for great feedback. So thank you. Okay, next slide.
Oh. Did it go?
Nope.
No.
Oh, it's so weird. Right, hang on. Where'd it go? Having technical difficulty.
Did you get lost, Drew?
No, I see the screen, and for some reason it's not letting me advance it.
I was presenting to the GFA board yesterday, and it did this to me. I don't know if it's the same thing, but suddenly it just wouldn't
It's like
advance.
weird.
Do you want to stop sharing and start again?
Your screen sharing is paused.
That's what it did to me last night.
What'd you do?
Monica presented.
Okay, I'm stopping and putting back.
Yeah, seems to be a new strange thing.
Mm.
No, it's computers.
There we go.
Okay, so we were there. And
We
now
were there, and now we're here. Okay, great. So once your beach is selected, you are good to go taking photos. So to take a photo, You're going to select what type of image that you are taking a photo of. So it's a beach profile, a specimen, a stream opening, or say tar balls would be other, people doing interesting thing on the beach would be other. So you're going to select that radial button next to select the type, and then you're going to go to the button, the camera icon, click that, and then you're going to be taking all of your field data photos in general, you're going to be taking in landscape mode. But you know, if a person's standing there or something and you want to take a portrait, horizontal, sorry, portrait, vertical photo, you can do that. But the horizontal or landscape mode is our primary data mode. So you're gonna be able to type any comments into the box. So next slide.
Yay.
Yes, this really, I should say also, this tool is really, you're gonna be tagging the photos with all the things that we need to know. It's really, you're gonna be contributing a lot by using the app.
So I
So,
have a quick question.
yeah, go ahead, Wendy.
It looks like we don't need beach ID any longer
my
because
Good
we
catch.
have it, right? We have it automatically.
Good catch. Exactly. We have the beach ID. If you love writing in the sand or propping up your thing, you are welcome to do that, but it is no longer a requirement for the first photo.
Yay.
Yep. So, okay, now we're going to pass it over to Kathy to practice.
Thanks, Kirsten. Drew, can we go back one, please? Great. So I'm going to wave and say hello, and then I'm going to stop my video to give me a little more bandwidth so you won't see my face, but you'll hear my voice. So I'll be joining you on a little let's practice interactive exercise to bring us through all the different field photo features. If you have your app downloaded and ready to go and ready to take photos, please join along. You don't have to, but if you want to have your phone at the ready and just follow along, I'd love to get some real-time feedback as we go. So let's practice the very first photo you'll take, and that would be your beach profile photo. So again, before you actually take the picture, you will tap your photo type, and we're going to populate beach profile. Then we'll tap the camera icon, hold the camera in landscape. And next slide. Oh, before we go, the little purple heart down there I added this evening because it's one of my favorite features of this app. The app has a sequential photo summary for you, and it's always at the bottom of your phone screen, and it's just a great reminder of what pictures you have taken, and it's just a great place to check to make sure your photos have been taken and to help you remember what specimen number you're on when you have a lot of dead.
To make sure I've gotten useful.
Very useful. Okay, next slide. Oh, Rebecca has a quick question. It's in the chat. Do we want to address that now? Do we have to pick a beach and be all signed in to do this? Oh, you mean do the real time?
I mean, to follow along with you. Should we have already put our QR code, our individual QR code in and picked a beach?
I think you can just follow along without putting your individual QR code in.
Okay.
Because this is just for fun, and you can pick any beach you'd like.
Also,
and you can put all of that in the rubbish bin at the end.
Okay.
you also don't need to use your personal QR code to collect data. So when you get out on your remote beaches, you won't have Wi-Fi. You just need it. You'll say you're going to collect data without whatever that first screen says.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
And then you can go ahead and take all the pictures you want And when you get home, they'll be waiting for you there for you to, put your personal QR code in. And
Okay.
the other thing I wanted to say about that was if you want to go along right now, you can pick Beach 311 or 853 in that drop down. Give you a couple seconds, and you can go along with what Kathy's saying, or just pay attention to this now. Okay, Kathy, sorry for the interruption.
No. Thank you for that clarification. So I've got my camera, I'm looking at my beach, I have it in horizontal orientation. So I'm gonna tap the white button on the right, tap it to snap it. And next slide. This is what your next field will look like on your phone. Here's your photo at the top. Then there's space to type comments in the orange rectangle. And down at the bottom on the right, you can press plus to take your next photo. And note, the photo app summary at the bottom has the first photo listed. Way down in the gray, beach profile number 1. Next slide. So you've got your beach profile photo, your survey is underway, and many of you will do dead first. So let's practice a specimen photo. So again, you're going to populate these 2 questions before you take the picture. You're going to tap your photo type, specimen, and then use the drop menu to number your specimens. So we're going to start with 1, and whoops, back please. Select your specimen type, bird, marine mammal, or other. And other would mean other vertebrates. So like my last Manchester survey, I had a dead mule deer on the beach, so I would have tapped the other button. So again, you hold your camera in the landscape orientation. And next slide. Okay.
Kegu.
Hey, I knew someone was gonna quickly identify that bird before I could get a word in. Carol, that is awesome. So we have our first bird specimen. We're going to tap it to snap it. We've made sure that the carcass or the animal fills the frame. We have our slide or our centimeter scale in. Yeah. Okay, next slide. So here's your photo. It shows up on your screen, and you still need to tell the app what the photo view is. So you select a button. We have dorsal ventral, bill, entanglement, a whole host of options to tap. If you tap other, you need to describe what that other is in the comments. So here we're pressing dorsal. And again, to press plus to advance to your next photo and look at your photo summary. We've got specimen 1, bird dorsal. So just a quick reminder, this app is so great in that it keeps a sequential photo list for you. So this was mine for a fake survey I did, where number 1 is your beach photo, and the numbers on the far left are actually your photo numbers. But note, the specimens are also numbered. So it's a great way to check that list to keep track of your specimen numbers, but you also remember that you have to type in a specimen number for each specimen photo you take. Next slide. If you're like me, every once in a while you don't take a photo quite the way you want it to be. So at the bottom of this screen in the red circle, there are some 3 dots on the right. If you tap those 3 dots, you have some image options. You can view the photo a little closer up to review it. or you could rotate the photo. You can also delete a photo, which is kind of a new thing for us. Volunteers who are always told never delete a photo. You can delete a photo by tapping the trash can icon. But this little pop-up image will show up, and you do have the chance to cancel your action before the photo is deleted. So that's a nice little safeguard.
Once
Okay, next.
once I've gone past the photo, can I go back and do anything to it? So I'm looking at my app and my summary, my app photo summary, and it's got my beach profile and my specimen one, and it's ready to do the next photo. Can I go back and look at those photos?
Yes.
Yes, I think you can.
How?
Um,
Clicking on them doesn't do it.
so if you click on the three dots, can you see, click on view?
I have
I
no
think-
3 dots.
There's an arrow that goes down at the bottom that you can go backwards.
Right, arrow pointing to the garbage can?
No, it's past the garbage can, right?
No, I got the garbage can, then I got app photo summary, and then survey wrap-up data form for photos.
I don't have the three dots either.
Yeah, the little arrow before the trash can. Be able to, you see the numeric, the pictures are 1 of 2 or 1 of 5.
Yeah, it doesn't
Be
let
able
me
to go
go.
backwards.
It doesn't.
Okay, well, we'll look at that.
Okay.
Is this because we're using Android? Because I'm not getting that either. I have no 3 dots.
And that'll be something you need to tell us, but yeah.
Did you already select ventral though?
Mhm.
Yeah, so it's before.
I was able to go backwards with that carrot next to the trash can on my iPhone.
You were.
I was
Yep.
too.
I have it now.
I wasn't at first, but it was because I had pressed the plus to like start another photo.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't
Ah.
let me, so I had to like delete I had to delete a trash
Oh,
can
delete
one
that
night
one, okay.
and then go back.
Oh, okay.
A little, you have to kind of really understand it to work it. I found when I started out, I was just taking a bunch of pictures and I couldn't figure out how to delete them or add them, or I got
Okay,
myself.
so if I go forward to 3, if I want to get back to 2, I have to delete 3.
Yes,
Yes.
sounds like that. That is a great little real-time practice. And don't be afraid to play around with it. You can't hurt it.
Yeah, it's all right. I'm going to submit pictures of my.
So just as a reminder for our specimen photo protocols, birds require 2 photos as minimum, dorsal and ventral. We hope for 5 photos minimum for marine mammals, including head with teeth, foreflippers, hind flippers, genitalia, dorsal, ventral, or lateral, whole body views. Please document any entanglement, oiled fur or feathers, notable injuries, deformities. If you can get close-ups of teeth, bill, feathers, blowholes, vibrissae, we appreciate that. And just a reminder to organize your photo shot. We have a wonderful option in being able to delete our photos and retake them. But still check your lighting for shadows, include your photo scale, and if you are able to brush the sand away to really get a clear view of feathers, especially, that would be very, very much appreciated. Next slide.
Kathy, before you go on.
So let's practice another feature. We have a stream opening photo coming up. So again, you'll populate these 3 features before taking the picture. Press stream opening or tap stream opening. The app populates the water feature on your beach. Oh, can we go back through? Thanks.
Kathy?
And sometimes there could be multiple stream names. So tap on the stream you are photographing.
Yes.
And you should know the status before you take the picture. So tap the stream status as open, closed, or intermittent, or unknown if you can't see what the stream status is. And again, tap your camera icon to engage your camera. Next slide. So I'm standing at the mouth of the Garcia River and I'm ready to take my picture. I'm going to tap it to snap it. Next slide. And it shows up. So at the top, these are already features or already information you've already plugged in. Garcia River is open. If you have comments, please type them in the orange rectangle and you will press plus to take your next photo. So again, if you have a water feature that you normally take pictures of, like a drainage culvert or a seasonal waterfall or something that's on your beach but isn't a recognized water feature in the app, you are more than welcome to, and we encourage you to take those pictures and put them in the other category. So let's go on to the other photo category. Again, you'll tap other, and then you get this great pull down menu, which will help you be a little more detailed on what you're taking pictures of. So there's 8 different types to select from. One of them actually is culvert or drainage. So that's a useful thing to know about. And you have to select that photo type before your camera icon will appear and you can actually take the picture. So next slide. So here's my other. I'm going to tap it to snap it. Next slide. And the photo shows up. Again, the photo type is other. I've used the photo type as people, but I need a comment because it's not just people. So I'm going to type my comment in the orange rectangle. And then I can press the plus to advance to my next photo. So we've visited all these features. We've been through beach profile and specimen and stream openings and other. So you are probably continuing your survey, but let's say you got to go. Either the tide's too high or you have Beaufort 7 or someone needs to leave the survey. If you have to pause your survey, the upper left X on your screen, if you tap it, it has a little pop-up box about closing your survey, and you have 3 options. You can immediately, if you need to continue this survey in just a minute, you can use the second one to continue. If you want to leave the beach and revisit the survey later, you would select Save in Drafts. And once you do that, the screenshot on the right shows you that another little file shows up saying you have 1 survey in drafts. And then, of course, closing and with the rubbish bin means you close and lose changes. So I would be loath to choose that option. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, I'm going to pass the baton back to Kirsten, but this seems like a nice transition time to ask if there are any questions, either in the chat or for people to ask by just unmuting and asking.
Yeah, I have a couple. The first one is well, actually, I mailed this to Drew earlier. When I first
Wow.
downloaded.
No questions?
I'm there. Oh, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. First one is that we had a problem the first time I downloaded this thing. It would not be able to scan the QR codes.
I don't think Catherine can hear anybody.
I think that's probably true.
Kathy, somebody write, Jan, can you write in the chat? Kathy, we can't, you're not hearing us. I don't know what.
We could also remove her if she doesn't get the information. She can come back.
Okay, so Dave, you resolved your problem, but with your Android, you uploaded the app, but it didn't work the first time, right?
Yeah, it was having a really hard time scanning any of the QR codes.
Do you,
It was oversaturating them, and there was nothing I could do to make it not do that. So I just removed the app and reloaded it, and then it worked fine.
huh.
That is great feedback. We haven't had that issue before, so we'll want to hear if others have that issue and we can do some troubleshooting.
Yeah, the
We
other,
are also aware that our QR codes look a little
oh, yeah,
weird or
fuzzy.
fuzzy. That hasn't seemed to have been an issue for anyone, and we're looking for a workaround on that. But the QR codes seem to work regardless.
Yeah, even fuzzy QR codes work. The nice thing about QR codes is they're really, really, really have replicated information in them. The other thing is when I have the app running, my phone dings about once every 30 seconds.
Wonder what that is.
We have not heard this before.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder if that has something to do with your GPS feature being on and it's letting you know that it's searching.
No idea. I'll keep trying. I'll
Oh,
try to
that's
figure it out.
interesting.
That would be
Well,
really helpful. When I tested this for about a year and a half on an Android device, I never had that issue. So,
Dave's on an Android.
Yeah,
okay.
we'll find out. I'll find
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Either that or I'll throw it against the wall.
Hey, I lost my connection right at the end of, I think was the end of my portion of the presentation. So did I make it all the way through? Or do
you
I
got
need to
all
go
the way
back?
up to this to the dolphin and surfer.
Oh, okay, great.
So now we're
Awesome.
just answering some questions and then we're going to go on with Kirsten.
Awesome. Thanks.
And I did notice that that if I exit the app completely, I do have to scan my QR code again, my personal one.
Yeah.
Yes, that is true. You will need to use that every time you go to start a survey, or at least before you submit that survey, but you will not have to scan the Beachwatch photo app
Right.
QR code unless you lose the app, etc.
Do you know anyone that's really good at tattooing QR codes?
We have a long history of people getting Beachwatch tattoos, so I think that's hilarious that you brought that up because that might very well happen.
Nah, he's old. His skin is all wrinkled. Ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
But Dave, that to follow up on that thought too is you don't need your QR code, your personal QR code, when you get out to the beach.
Right, right. I can always do it later. Yeah, I
Yeah.
noticed the only thing that's in that I decoded the QR code. All it's in it is my name and my email address.
Okay, that's all that's
Yeah.
supposed to be there.
Kelly has been figured out how to do a batch creation of them, but unfortunately, when they were able to do that, they only got the slightly blurry one. So we may improve upon that, but they do work.
Yeah, you should make one that has like Beach Watch emblem in the middle.
Oh, that's a cool idea.
We need our logo. 30 years later, we still don't have a Beach Watch logo.
I know.
Okay, let's go on.
Okay.
Ready?
Rebecca has a question, and Julie, I don't know in what order.
Julie, go.
I may be getting ahead of myself here, but when we're done taking the field photos, do you click that X in the upper left corner to exit out, or is there another way at the end to exit out?
Yeah, so if you want to stop at like right now, you've done all your field photos and you want to go home and do your paperwork, you would X out and you would say at the top, you would X out and you would say save in drafts.
Save in drafts. Okay. Okay.
And when you get home and now you're going to do your data sheets and you're going to finalize and upload the photos to the
portal.
That's what we're going to go over next.
Oh, good.
Okay, good.
So it's kind of
Thank
like two parts. You do your field part and then you do your paperwork part.
Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Rebecca.
Okay, just a quick question. I had surveys where my camera battery has run out because there's so many photos and it's taken so long. Is that going to happen with my phone?
You all are going to help us figure that out. We have not had that issue yet,
Certainly go
but
with the full battery.
Okay.
And the thing is set up to take over 500 pictures.
Okay.
So you shouldn't, like hopefully we're not having a massive die off and you're out there doing 500 dead things.
it would be great to, no, I think Jan tested that one night, right? Entered over 500 photos while watching a movie.
Yeah,
That was a while ago.
I think I got up to 400 actually.
Okay. All right. I think we'll take it from here. Next slide. Okay, so we're home. You've finished your data sheet. You've finished filling out your data sheets and figuring out any quirky things that you wanted to look up after your survey. So you now have more photos to take before you can submit your survey. The app will not let you submit until you have completed the necessary data form photos. So the app will show you. So you've gone back in, you opened up the app, you said you want to continue working on a specific survey. It can show you the photo summary at the bottom of the screen. That might be very helpful completing your photo log sheet. Check it over. Then you're going to want to do access the survey wrap up section, which is the data form section. So you're
Okay,
going to
Kirsten, before you go on to that, I'm really sorry. Could you back up and just elaborate a little bit more about how to look at your photos and complete the photo log
so
before?
sure. So the part I think Drew has a very small mouse that she's circling there. That section is going to be line by line. A beach profile photo, specimen photo 1, dorsal view, specimen photo 1, ventral view, beach
Sure.
profile photo, et cetera, et cetera. So that is gonna be a great, effectively, line for line, you can complete your photo log in that way if you haven't in the field.
But if I actually wanted to see those pictures again as I'm completing the photo, I can't imagine why, but I do it now. Um, how do I actually go into the drafts? Do I go back into the app, open the drafts? Can I see the pictures one by one?
Okay, so when you're on this screen, this white bar right above the log, it has arrows to the left, and that is going to let you walk through one by one, and you'll have the little view of the image up top, and the information about the photo
Okay.
below.
Okay, great.
I think you
Great.
can
Okay,
actually,
love it.
you can actually click on the photo and it'll enlarge the thumbnail for you when you.
Great.
Yay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
But this
good.
photo summary will have everything there and it'll be exactly how it's recorded it.
Yep. Line by line that will match what you write into
Up to
your data.
500.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go on to the next slide. We're going to do the data forms. So once you open this section, survey wrap up, data forms, it's going to show you a list of data sheets, the small icons, and next to each of the data sheet names, you may see a small red asterisk. So survey monitoring form, there's the little red indicator that this is a required photo. If you don't take that photo, you are not going to be able to submit your survey. So the first one, the survey monitoring form, we all know that has the dead specimens on it, but of only a small section for dead specimens. And if you were to have 50 dead specimens, you're going to need to use a dead continued form. So that is not a required form, but if you have it, that is where you're going to upload it. Then so on and so forth. Your live survey form is required. human use non-boating form required, human use boating form required, and so on. Next slide. So this is a quick cheat sheet to what is required. So your comments, you may not, if you didn't write comments onto the back of a data sheet, you don't need to submit that. If you do, this is where you would do it as basically photo number 7. And the oil descriptor form, you only have to submit it if you have it. So also important to note that dead continued, live form, and photo log, you can submit multiples of that page in case you have so many dead that you're on to the third sheet of multiple dead or likewise live.
Happens.
It happens for sure. Okay, next slide. So when a data form photo is successfully added, the teeny thumbnail photo of it will appear in the location where your will show up. So you'll know that it's there and you can move on to the next one. If you needed to delete it and take it again because the contrast wasn't good, do remember, turning a light on in the room where you're taking your datasheet photos is always helpful. Okay, so next slide. So are all your data sheets taken? The app will tell you how many forms are required to be submitted. Once you've double checked that all of your data sheet photos are in, you can look at the text at the very bottom of the form that says 5 data forms will be submitted with your survey. That's another triple check that they're all there. So now it's time to submit your survey. You can go ahead and click the checkbox to submit your survey. So that's down in the bottom of your bottom of the screen. So remember, this will have to be done when you have cell coverage or Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
So that you'll have to do, back when you're at your house is really, honestly, I don't think anybody fully completes their data sheets when they're out in the field anyway. And so that's when you're going to be able to do that.
So that implies you got to do it on your phone.
Yes, wherever you've taken the pictures on a tablet or on
a tablet or a phone.
That doesn't mean you have to do your data entry there. This is
Nope.
just for
Yeah, I
photos.
was gonna say, it's much easier to do the data entry on the computer.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
you
this is a completely separate process from the data entry, and you'll do this, and then you'll go ahead and do your data entry. Okay, next slide.
So just FYI, Jan wrote in the chat, when you are reviewing your photos, click on the photo and you can use your zoom function to see close-ups, like feathers.
Great, thank you, Jan. So after clicking the checkbox, you will see 3 options. The first one is send now. This is if you are ready to send and you're connected to the internet. The second is continue the survey. Click this if you would like to return to the photo app survey. And the last is save in the outbox. This will save your survey to your outbox, and you will have to come back in and manually send once you return and are connected to the internet in some way.
So
Okay.
I have one
Yes.
question here.
Go ahead.
One of the things that we do a lot of, because when we're running around in the field and taking pictures, we don't necessarily have the best ID, and we figure out IDs later, looking at the pictures on our computer or whatever. How can you see these? Can you see these pictures on the computer somewhere?
Yes. So what's going to happen, and we're just about to explain this, is once you hit send now, you will receive almost automatically an email from beachwatch@fairlawns.org that will be all of your photos and a sort of simulated photo log. There'll
Cool.
be a PDF form. That's for you to keep. We don't need that. Your photos have now been entered and are in our system, and we will take care of the photos from there. But you will get this record in PDF form, and you can look at your pictures and.
But of course, at that point, I've already sent you the data sheets that
Right.
tell you what the bird is.
But you haven't done your data entry yet. So when you're doing your data entry, you can go take your photos, right? You've got to have all your list of dead specimens, and you can, make your. I see what you're saying, but
Yeah, so that my data entry is going to say something different than the form that I uploaded.
yeah, that may be. But you can write that in comments
Okay.
at the end. Please double check, survey form with corrected.
Drip, I think I think what he's referring to is you don't have to submit your survey in through the data portal prior to submitting your photos. You can submit your photos, and then when you get that PDF back, then you can look at the species for a closer ID. You can put it up on the big screen.
Right, but that means,
and then you go back to your survey form because you have not ID'd the specimen.
He's taken photos of his data forms though. So I see where you're at, David. So one option is that you in the app before in the app you're zooming in to look at the photos. Another option is that you get comfortable accessing the folder on survey 123 kind of in the back end of your phone to go in there and manipulate the photos. But let's play with that and really get that ironed out for down the road.
sounds good.
Yeah, because you take your picture of your survey form, but it doesn't have the corrected, what you think are the corrected things, and then you've already submitted it.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
So please check
We
the chat.
we spend a lot of time debating about IDs.
Yeah, understood. And we love that. Let's see, I think Nat had a comment.
Yeah, it's pretty good. We'll play around with that, Nat.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
Nat.
I kind of have the same question. We spend a lot of time looking at the photos before we submit our surveys. We have to, make sure that the right species and the right age. So that's why, we put them on our computer and we go then into the database, the Beachwatch database, to look at the photo survey. So that was exactly my question. Before we submit, how can we make sure that we have the correct information?
Well, you'll be able to go back and look at each of your photos on your phone. And we can give you the workaround where you go in and look at this behind the scenes file that will be on your phone that you can download those photos and open them anywhere you want.
That would be good.
So
Yeah.
that'll just be advanced photo app, but that will be available.
I think since this is such an interest to so many of you, and I love that, we can work on a quick instruction that we can share with this whole group that would allow you to look at the photos that are on your phone and see if that works or see if we need to make an improvement on that in some way. So we'll send around some more information based on what Nat put in the chat. Unless that is all that you need, but happy to email that out.
Thank you.
We are in serious competition to get Mr. Pyle to say, yes, correct ID.
Oh
It
boy.
makes our day
Awesome.
or our week.
Yeah. Pyle is like the ancient mariner. He stoppeth one of three.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So I think we covered this page. Did we already? Okay. Now the next.
Whoop, sorry.
Woo!
Sorry.
Okay. We're running loose and wild here with you all. So I think we covered this. You have your multiple options, so you can play with that. And then relax. You're done with photos from here. You will be emailed a PDF, and I really think that should be almost immediate. which will include your images and all of the information that you shared about each of those images. It'll be a multi-page PDF. And then also the manual that Drew already shared with you has tips and tricks to, fine tuning your moving about in the app. And as we get feedback from you all in this process, we will be adding tips and tricks. So to the manual for, the full rollout. So please geek out as much as you like on that. And there was something else I was going to say here. I think that is it for the moment. Okay, next slide.
One more question from Chris.
Yes, Chris.
Maybe I'm mistaken, but at least in the Survey 123 app, you may not have to identify the species exactly. So it doesn't, unless you put that in the comments, it's just asking you, what's the photo view?
Exactly.
That's exactly right.
Right. So if you're unsure of the species, you can just leave that blank.
Exactly.
And
Yeah,
then
so
fill it in on your data form.
exactly.
Right, but that's not the problem. The problem is that you send in the data forms before you can look at the pictures.
No, you can send in the data forms when you get back home.
No, I know, but I get back home and the pictures are on a phone, which is about 2 inches by 3 inches. And no matter how hard I look at it, I'm not going to figure out what the bird is. I would like to be able to take those pictures and put them somewhere else before I fill out the data form. Because I'm going to end up filling out the data form, adding them to the pictures on the phone, and then submitting that. And then I'll get back this PDF where I can have big pictures that I can look at, and then I can correct my data form. But I've already sent you my data form.
Yeah, so it is really a good point. And if we can find a really smooth workaround, it's possible that we consider adding total, some functionality to the app. We'll see. But I think if we can find some really smooth workarounds where you can really look at those images closely before you take your photos of the data sheets. Yeah, so we'll be talking about that. But what
We
Chris,
usually spend 24 to 48 hours debating over some of the weird bird, messed up dead birds that we're trying
That's
to
right.
identify.
Kristen will find a way around.
well, I think
Work
you might be helping us, David.
Yeah, I'm looking at my phone now to see if any of
And
those
and
images were saved somewhere I can get at.
and that, thank you so much for that. So, but what Chris pointed out is a really good point. We aren't asking you to identify to species in the app. We are asking you to identify to species on your data sheet. But it's just one less thing you have to be typing and fiddling and dealing with the drop down. We didn't want you to have to deal with the drop down menu of 400 species. Really, we just need to know it's specimen number one, and that is going to link to your data entry specimen number one, and that's where we're gonna have the actual specimen
Yeah,
information.
no, that's fine. That's fine. It's much better than typing on the beach.
Yeah. Okay. So, Chris, did you have another question, or is your hand just still up?
Yeah, I think that we can check this out, but if we attach our iPhone to our desktop computer or laptop or whatever via USB, we should be able to see under DCIM in the iPhone the files in the file folder, as Nat said. You should be able to see my survey attachments if you navigate down through Survey 123, ArcGIS, etc. So you might be able to upload them to your computer, or at least just look at them on your computer.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
I will
now.
get you guys. I've got the instructions for how to do that. We just didn't want to complicate things tonight. We'll show you how to do that. It was just one more bunch of steps. But I know on my phone, you search for files, and then it shows you the Survey 123 files. You click on that, and then I opened it for the first time, and I had 700 pictures because I had no idea that I was collecting all these photos in all our practices.
We
So
practiced a lot.
practice a lot, and that's what we're the next step here is what we're going to ask you to do.
So
So I'll get you those instructions for at least for iPhone, and Dave, maybe that'll give you some hints on how to do it on Android,
Right.
and you can share that with us.
So before we get to the next couple questions and then turn it over to Drew, I wanted to say that take some time playing with this, and Drew will talk about it, but it feels really clunky at first, and you may just repeatedly keep starting to add a photo when you didn't mean to. Like, just give yourself some time playing with it and playing with it, and it starts to become intuitive when it might not be at first. So you might on your first try be like, I absolutely hate this, but just play with it, and then, we'll be asking for your feedback after every time you try it. So it's fine if the first time you're like, oh, this is frustrating, but keep trying, and we look forward to getting like all the perspectives. I think Amber had a question, and then Julie.
Two questions. So I like to do my data entry before I finalize my forms because I
Yes.
normally catch something that I missed on my form, right? So can we still do that? Like, can I start doing my data entry before I click
Absolutely.
submit?
Absolutely.
Like, I
And
wouldn't finalize my data entry, but I'd basically be like, okay, I'm on my photo page and I already did that in the other app.
Yeah,
yeah,
you can definitely still do that.
you can
Okay.
definitely still do that, and you don't have to wait to do your photo upload to submit your data because they're going to talk to each other behind, right? So you do all your data entry. You look at the survey 123 and grab as much information from that to fill out your photo log, and you most certainly can go a data entry and then finish up your papers, taking the pictures of them and entering your and giving it to us.
Okay.
In giving us your feedback, please tell us what's working for you in terms of that. Like, I actually start doing my data entry before I even submit the photos. Like, tell us what works for you, because that will help us figure out, other tips and tricks or even best practices.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'll
I
totally do it.
always start the data entry before
Yeah.
I do the
Doesn't matter what order you if you do the photo app first and then do data entry or the other way, data entry and then but it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Okay. Let's
And
see.
then why do we have to do a photo log?
Well, that because we're just phasing it out eventually. But that's
That's my
down the
least
road.
favorite form.
Well, now it should be easier because it'll be all listed. But yeah, we're not phasing it out yet.
It has been discussed
Yeah.
extensively amongst the Beach Watch staff, and some of
Okay.
us are in the camp of retiring it sooner than others. So we're doing it for now.
We're at least getting rid of the need to take a picture in the sand of the date and the beach number.
Okay, Julie,
Okay.
and then Nat.
Okay, and then let's do the next one.
I understand that the pictures we take on this survey app are stored, say, on my phone somewhere within the app, and I'm concerned about the memory usage on my phone. Will I ever be able to get in there and delete those?
Yes.
I keep a backup on my laptop from the PDF, but I don't want excess data, memory taken up with all those pictures on the Survey 123 app.
Yes,
Is
you'll
that
be able to do that once you open that up. Like I found 700 pictures, so that I just went through and deleted them all because I didn't need, pictures of my bushes in my front yard.
So we'll include that
Okay.
in the manual if it isn't already.
You'll show us how to do that? Okay,
Yeah.
great. Thank you.
And Nat. And then we'll go on to next steps.
Okay, so in theory, I should know the answer to this question, but because I know a little bit about this, but so there's a photo upload page. You're still using so what do you do with that page?
So that's not a required page in data entry. So we actually still have a handful of people that mail us their SD cards. So you can submit, you can do your data entry, and skip the photo upload page and submit your data entry, no problem. So
That's what you're saying people should do if they do it this way.
if they do it this way, so we're not going to require that everybody use this app.
So you
But
click the little checkbox that says, yes, I really don't have any photos.
I really don't have any photos, and now we can talk about down the road if we, if there are back end ways to incorporate that information but
Yeah, there definitely are.
yeah, so
It's great to hear. I feel like it's great to hear everybody's what their workflow is like and what's important to them. That was super interesting to me listening to this call.
yeah, and I think we'll get even more of it. So awesome. And Nat, you let us know if there are any other questions that you need. Nat will be working with us on the back end of plumbing the photos into the database. So we'll turn over to Drew for the next steps for what you're going to be doing next.
Did we get everybody's questions? I see Amber still has her hand raised.
I think let's do
I'm-
these
I'm
next
gonna
few
thank you.
slides and then we'll open it again, but then let people leave if they want to.
Okay. So this is the part where you're gonna take over the reins on your photo app. And what we're asking you to do is basically you're gonna work with the app and maybe do some pretend surveys, and then before you go out in the field and do a real beach survey with it, you'll let us know your feedback and how comfortable you are with the testing of it, and then we'll give you the go ahead to use it on a real survey. So for the next couple of weeks, just use the photo app and do pretend surveys. You can use the beach numbers 311 or 853 in the drop down menu on the photo app, because those are two beaches that we're not actually surveying right now. And what you'll do is, you can do your backyard, you can do your dinner, you can do, go to a party, do it at do it at friends, but pretend you're taking a beach profile, a specimen, and numbering it, and taking a couple of pictures of that specimen and practice numbering the specimen. You can play with taking oil photos, stream openings, but it doesn't have to be, you're just pretending. So like one day I went around my backyard and I just took pictures of all my pretty spring flowers, and one was a beach profile and one was a specimen, and I took a picture of my feet, and that was in marine mammal. And just play with the settings, with the little boxes you have to check. I would say for any one of these practice things, take at least 5 to 7 photos, if not more, to get a sense of how you're moving forward and looking at your photos and making sure you're recording if it's a specimen and the specimen number. I would say trying to do that for 3 or more practice sessions will make you, each time you'll be more comfortable. And you also don't have to upload them. You can, in the beginning, it's kind of clumsy, just delete it. It's okay, and then do another one. But we do want to hear from you after you've done at least 3 to tell us how it's going for you. And we'll talk through any issues, and if you're just great, you're just anxious to get out on the beach, we'll give you the go ahead and you can do your next survey. One of the reasons besides you being all our bright and energetic volunteers, is that you also have multiple beaches. So we'll get more practices in using real beach surveys with your help. So I guess the point is to go start taking pictures and, pick a theme, don't have to pick a theme, just do random. I would say for your data sheets, do at least 5 of them. You can use a birthday card or a postcard or a piece of paper and just whip through 5 pages. You don't have to find a different image for each one of those. But, just something that is going to take a picture of a pretend data sheet, because you won't be able to upload it unless you do that. Then when you're ready, look at the end of that survey, that pretend survey, and look at all the functions. How did it work? How did the beach, the log, the photo log look to you? Was that a beach profile? Was that a stream? Was that a specimen and another specimen? And see how it reads so you get familiar with the look of it. Then you can put your personal code on to upload it and then upload it. And that beach 311 or 853 will come to us. You will get the PDF of the photos and the pretend photo log that comes with it, and you'll see how that looks. But it should be pretty easy. We've all been doing this for a while now. I mean, I went to New York and I took a bunch of pictures in New York, and you know, Kirsten has a new dog. She took a bunch of pictures of her new dog. It doesn't matter what the subject matter is. It just matters that you're getting familiar with the app. You can even go to a beach and do it at a beach and pretend to do a real one.
And you can feel free to submit those practice ones. We
Yeah.
don't care what the photos are. They can be of your feet. But if you want, you can go ahead and go through the whole process of submitting.
Yeah. Let's see. I lost my place. Sorry. Help me. Okay. So any questions about doing the practice round? Okay.
And Drew, will you email that information?
I will email this information to you, and I will also try it. Well, I won't wait for it, but also email how to look at your pictures. And I'll
I
also
don't seem
email
to
you.
have the ability to raise my hand here. I'm looking for my little hand raise icon and I don't have it.
You
So
can
that's why I
just chime
just keep
in.
breaking in. So I apologize.
No problem.
So our survey up north is a beach, what is it, bluff top survey. So we don't have specimens. Is it going to be okay to submit without specimens?
Absolutely.
Because I still get that. When I put in Haven's Neck, it still says specimen as one of the
Right.
choices.
And you're not going to check that box.
Right.
You
So,
might have
but
a
it's
couple of different beach profiles, or you might have, marine mammals on the beach or something, but they're not going to be dead. They're going to be live.
I'll have a lot of others and beach profiles, and that's all.
That's great. Perfect for
That's
your
what-
survey.
Okay.
But 114, you're going to have some dead specimens.
I
Yeah.
did today, as a matter of fact. I'm not going to send them in though.
Okay, so just to review, you're going to do a couple or few surveys using the app, pretend. You're going to note the features that work well for you and the features that were problematic or gave you issues. Um, Downloading, installing, starting, and closing the app. You're going to use your unique QR code. You're going to take field photos and practice your orientation, making sure you're going horizontal for all the specimen pictures and vertical for your paper. You're going to take data sheet photos, pretend, and then you're going to finish the survey by uploading your photos using the app. Let us know about edits and changes for the user manual. And I'm going to send out also a link to this BWPhotoApp feedback. It's a Google form. It's pretty quick and easy. You put in, what beach pretend beach or whatever beach you're really doing, and you're going to give us feedback on how the app worked for you. And we want you to get down and dirty with it. Tell us that, this thing is just too confusing, or I don't see myself ever using this, or, love this. It's making my life so much easier. And I will say that I have really grown to like it. At first, I was like feeling little all thumbs, but now it's like so easy to just click those pictures. So, any other questions about that process? And you can do the feedback sheet as many times as you want. So if you do one beginning one, doing the pretend ones, and then do another one when you get the go ahead to do your beach surveys, that would be great just to see your learning curve. And so just want to thank you all for being here, and your feedback is going to make what this app, it's going to make it work for the rest of us, for all the, we're hoping in the fall we'll be able to launch this with the rest of the Beach Watch teams. email any one of us any questions or concerns. Individual emails are just fine. We will troubleshoot with you. And thank you to being so dedicated to Beach Watch. And we couldn't do this program without you, as we've said many times, but thank you. And want to thank Sage Tezak. Some of you might know her. She is one of our NOAA affiliates, and she designed this with her GIS GPS skills, and she made the manual for us, and has just been great to work with. Okay. I think that's it, guys.
All right. Thank you all so much for joining, and happy to hang out if anybody has any more questions or thoughts. We're super excited. Chris.
Yeah, thanks. So I'm excited about this too. I've used this for other applications, the Survey 123. Super easy to use. But yeah, I apologize. I'm going to ask if you can repeat the appropriate iPhone format when we take pictures of data sheets. Did you say it should be vertical?
Yeah, just matching the data
Matching
sheet.
the
Yeah.
picture, matching
Yep.
the page. Okay.
Well, we're going to try it out next week when we survey Manchester. And I'm going to take my old Beach Watch camera with me, and Dave's going to take the phone, and we're going to duplicate.
You're gonna have a photo off. It sounds like that's a theme in your house.
Yep.
That's
Go
great.
around and take pictures of your house, all your great artwork and things that you have there. We all want to see it.
Well, come up to the North Coast. I'd be happy to see you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, I only see you guys from, a mile offshore going by in your big boat.
I know, I love that you always see us. So we'll give you the dates for, we'll give you a heads up when we're gonna be in your hood next.
Cool.
Do, because we're mostly here. We just go to the Bay Area to do Pomponio.
We were on the Shimada, I think it was last year, sitting up on the flying bridge, and I check my email, and there's an email from David saying, "Is that you guys offshore?" And I was like chatting back, "Yep, that's us. We're sitting off your shore." So we'll be out there end of June, early July will be the first trip. We'll be on the
We'll
Reuben
watch for
Lasker.
you.
Yeah.
We'll watch for you.
Yeah.
But you got to come to shore if you want to come and have a glass of wine or a
That's true.
nosh.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Well, and if
Okay.
there are no more questions,
I think Julie still has a hand up.
hi, Julie. Go ahead.
Hi, thanks. Tell me specifically where I can access the video recording of tonight's presentation, and
Well,
also where is the more extensive user's manual going to be?
Okay, well, you have the user manual that was emailed to you.
Okay, I
And
got something brief, so maybe something else came through today.
so you have the user manual.
Okay.
Zoom takes about 24 hours to whatever they do on their end to process, and as soon as I get it for the recording, I will send it out to everybody.
You'll send it to us directly. Okay,
You
perfect.
directly.
Thank you.
And then what else? And then
We
there,
could also send the slides if that would be helpful.
yeah, this whole slideshow you can have too.
Oh, that would be great. Yeah.
Awesome.
Whatever
Well,
else we can do.
all right. Wendy says we're ready to roll. Thank you all so much.
Puppy.
We're excited for your feedback. Oh, Amy, yeah.
Puppy. Where's the puppy?
Oh, the puppy. The puppy. Honey girl, come on, baby.
Go ahead, Amy. Want to hear what you have to say.
She's got to do her stretches.
Oh,
Honey bun.
oh,
is
what a
Honey.
beauty.
She was found in East LA as a pregnant 1-year-old mama. And she had her puppies, and now she is living like dream life up here, jumping in the creek while I'm doing meetings and running in here all soaking wet.
Yay!
So she's a really good girl. I'm sure you all will meet her at some point at a party.
What a beauty.